Hey everybody, back with another review, and this time it's going to be Jughead the Hunger, the one-shot from Archie Comics. And this book is actually kind of old now. It came out back in May of 2017, but I just got the one-shot, this comic, the other day. I had been getting the regular new ongoing Jughead Hunger miniseries, or regular ongoing series, for the past 3 issues, but I haven't had time to actually read it yet. So when I found this at my local comic shop the other day, I decided to get it and read it right away. And it was fantastic. I highly recommend this book, and I hope the regular series is as good in quality as this is. So for those of you that don't know what this is, or what Archie Horror is, it's basically an imprint within Archie Comics where they change all of the regular characters and put them in a horror movie universe. So it started with a series called Afterlife with Archie, which was a zombie apocalypse scenario for the Archie characters. Then they did a more modern update of Sabrina the Teenage Witch called Chilling Adventures of Sabrina. They followed it up with the Jughead as a werewolf miniseries, which is what this is. And then the next one to come out is Vampironica, which I'm super excited for, which is Veronica Lodge as a vampire. I've only really become recently interested in a lot of the Archie books, and I feel like that's almost entirely due to the Riverdale TV show on the CW, which I am a huge fan of. I love that show. Season 1 was excellent in my opinion. I highly recommend, if you haven't seen it yet, to go out and see it. Season 2 is still good, but just weird. It's just really weird what they're doing this year. Some of the choices that they're making are very, very questionable in terms of long-term survival of that show. But anyway, that's a topic for a different video. Let's take a look and crack this open. The cover is fantastic. I love this cover. Very stylistic artwork. Very horror-esque, which of course is the whole point of this book. But I really, really like this artwork style. And just so you know, the book was written by Frank Thierry and drawn by Michael Walsh. And this artwork, again, is just superb. So we start out with classic horror trope. A woman is running down a vacant street, running from some unknown, terrifying entity. And if you look closely enough, if you're familiar with the Archie characters, you'll notice that this is actually a long-time returning character, Miss Grundy, the school teacher. And she thinks that she's escaped from whatever horrible thing she's running from. Oh, thank God, I can't believe it though. And never thought the Riverdale Ripper was Slash. And she's toast. And as you can see, one after another, she's dead. And somebody grabs her decapitated head. Horrifying, yeah, that's definitely the word to use for this. We've already set the stage for this gruesome, suspenseful book. I love it. So good. So, Jughead the Hunger. Do you have to waste a whole page with this? I don't know. So we cut to this next scene, and we see a bunch of people, again, reacting in horror. That's the only way to describe it. I just can't watch it anymore. I've never seen anything like it. And someone's there, looks like blood on his hands, on his lips, smacking his lips together. And you just know this is going to be a fake out. But it's done so well. It's done well enough that you're kind of laughing with them, not at it, okay? And of course it is a fake out, and it's Jughead. And the blood is not blood, it's like ketchup or whatever. And he's chowing down on a all-you-can-eat buffet. This is actually something they don't do in the Riverdale show. They really don't play up his obsession with food, which is kind of strange. So anyway, the people in the all-you-can-eat buffet are really pissed because Jughead's eating them out of their entire stock, and they're trying to bribe him away. But anyway, good stuff, all good, regular Archie stuff. And everybody leaves. But again, this it's just weird. Reggie's with them. This is something I never understood about Archie, because I don't read it enough to know about it, and he's barely in the show. Reggie's such a just jerk all the time. Why are they friends with him? I just don't get that. So it's like, oh, like Archie and Veronica, they're kind of like laughing at it, and it's like, oh, it's cute that Jughead does all this stuff. And then Reggie goes, too funny. I've got another word for it. How about disgusting? And here are some other words that describe what it's like to go out to eat with you. Inhuman, embarrassing, just plain vomit-inducing. Oh, so I get it now, Reggie. It's kind of like how the rest of us feel whenever we're with you. And they get into a little fight. But it's like, it's very true to what I understand that these characters are like, but I just never got why Reggie hangs out with them or why they want to hang out with him. It's like, they're always kind of like getting into each other's nerves and fighting with each other. So whatever. Then they meet up with Archie's dad, who delivers the bad news that Miss Grundy was murdered by the Riverdale Ripper. And they recount how many people they've already lost to the Riverdale Ripper, and that's Pop, Ethel, Miss Grundy, and Cousin Bingo. I have no idea who that is, if that is even a real character or not. But anyway, they should be getting home before dark. Of course, classic horror movie trope, they're still walking around even though it's dark. So they should have been home by now. But full moon is out, a really nice picture here of Jughead. Great shadows on the eyes and the full moon in the back. And he's just feeling really weird. He feels like his senses are being heightened. Down here he can sniff, smell everything around him. And then he's approached by Dilton Doily, character I didn't know of before I started watching Riverdale. But why is he out alone at night? Like, they know there's a mass murderer on the loose, and like their school teacher's just been murdered. Like, shouldn't he just be at home too? Why is he out just like randomly walking around? But anyway, gets into a little conversation with Dilton, and this double page splash comes up, and this is so good. This picture of just drawing of Jughead is so disturbing and creepy. It's great. And he describes all of the different heightened sensations that he's experiencing. He can smell all of these different things from around town. He can hear far away. I like this part. Betty and Veronica arguing over who gets to go and console Archie. Classic. Another great bit. Dilton keeps asking Jug, I said, are you okay? He's like, internal monologue, no, I'm not. You don't have to answer. I get it. The Riverdale Ripper situation is getting the better of you. And the heart rate keeps increasing. And Dilton just won't shut up. And that's part of his character, I guess. And this is another great page where he's transforming into the werewolf. And we get Dilton's reaction, just total silhouette. Great contrast with the glasses. And he is toast. And the next morning, oh, this is so gross. Hot Dog is licking up the blood off. Oh, it's so gross, but it's so good at the same time. And so now this is the first realization that Jughead is aware that he is actually the Riverdale Ripper. And he finds Dilton's arm and glasses in his bedroom. So gross. So right away he has to go and tell Archie. But Archie is actually already aware of this because he, again, was defying the curfew that his father specifically asked him to obey because, you know, there's a mass murderer on the loose. And he observed Jughead murdering Dilton. And basically he's like kind of cool with it despite, you know, the obvious horrifying aspect of it. And then Betty shows up. And then all of a sudden, wham! Betty starts attacking Jughead like viciously and violently. Like she knows, obviously, that he is a monster. And we find out that Betty and her family come from this long line of werewolf hunters. And it's her job to kill Jughead because he's a werewolf. And she needed to infiltrate his close circle of friends and get close to him so she could accomplish her family's mission. Archie, of course, appeals to her humanity get a nice overview of the history of the Jones family and the Cooper family, being werewolves and werewolf hunters from going back to like Puritan days. So anyway, skip some stuff. They don't need all of this. But Archie appeals to her humanity and says he like looks up online like maybe there's something that we can give Jughead to cure him. So they go and get some wolfsbane from the like the I don't know, what do you call this, like a botanical garden. That's it, a botanical garden. Of course, that's not enough, and he wolfs out. And I'm not going to show the rest, but there's some other good stuff at the end here. It kind of wraps things up as a... they meant to do this as a one-shot, and then I think it probably sold really well, and not well enough for Archie. They don't really sell very well to begin with, but they decided to revive it again for an ongoing. So yeah, I'm not gonna show the entire ending, but go out and get this book. It's kind of old now. Came out last year. But I would highly recommend this book. I'm really into the Archie horror. I can't wait for Vampironica. I'm definitely going to go back and get the back issues for Afterlife with Archie and Sabrina. And yeah, this is just really, really cool stuff. I love how they're diversifying the Archie line. They have the new regular Archie comics. They have the horror comics. They even brought back the Red Circle and the Mighty Crusaders. So yeah, I mean, they're trying everything. So you got to give them credit. Let me know if you're reading Jughead the Hunger or any of the other Archie horror titles. Let me know what you thought of this video. Please subscribe to my channel. Follow me on Twitter at Cinecrisis, and we'll be back in the future with more videos.